It's time for another innovation from Techivation, AI Compressor. They claim to have come up with a brand new type of compressor that's so good, you don't need to worry about pesky things like attack, release, or threshold. It can be used on every track and even your mix, automatically picking the best settings. But does it live up to the hype? I'll test it out. But first, please like, subscribe, and share, and consider becoming a member. Use my affiliate QR code on screen or in the links below to support the channel. Plus, you can buy a Pale Blue Dot merch right now at my store. Links in the description. Full disclosure, this video is sponsored by Techivation. But just like my M-Leveler review, I'll always be honest about what I like and don't like. Go check out their stuff with my link on screen or below. Techivation have always been about minimal, simple interfaces, and their foray into AI and machine learning has made their plugins even easier to use. And AI Compressor really takes this to new heights. AI Compressor wants to make transparent compression easy. There have been a few attempts at this before, most notably Focusrite Fast Compressor, which they just cancelled, thank you very much, Sonable Pure Comp, and Isotope Neutron Mix Assistant, all with mixed results. What Techivation are aiming to do with AI Compressor is to decrease the dynamic range not by crushing the peaks, but by compressing and raising the quieter sounds. This way your peaks remain intact. But what if I have peaks that need to be tamed? Let's run some tests to see how AI Compressor handles different signals. Here's AI Compressor. All you need to do is insert it on the loudest part of your track and hit Learn. After 4 seconds, it uses a combination of internal algorithm and machine learning to identify the source and optimize the compression using its perpetual filter. More on that later. So this sounds pretty clean. I hear a subtle compression in the release characteristic, kind of expanding the sound, and there's a bit of gain increase. And there's not much control after that. You can increase or decrease the amount of compression with the gain reduction slider. Or you can mix wet-dry down here, or hit this switch and change the output gain in the lower right. And more to that point, it's interesting that Techivation says it's supposed to set the ideal perceived loudness for the track, but it seems to me that it almost always increases the overall gain by a couple decibels. Upwards compression can create the sense of louder material because it's bringing up the quieter parts, reducing the range, just like compression and distortion, and can make things feel more full and loud. But this is actually making the signal a little louder. You might wonder why I'm going on about this, but longtime viewers might know that I prefer plugins, especially of the more magic variety, to have automatic gain compensation, so our ears aren't tricked by louder is better. And there is gain compensation happening here, but it sounds like it makes it louder than the original average loudness. But let's test that out. Maybe it's just the perceived loudness. AI Compressor is supposed to hear audio like humans do, with its custom perpetual filter. So let's actually compensate for the gain difference and see what's happening. So back to what I was pondering earlier. How does AI Compressor handle plosive material with crazy peaks and lots of dynamic range, where you would definitely want to tame and even out those wild peaks? Check out this drum track where I really cranked up the difference in peaks. And we'll insert AI Compressor and let it do its thing. Okay, let's print that so we can analyze it. Okay, and the process file is definitely louder, about 3.6 dB louder, so let's compensate for that. And we can see in here that AI Compressor has indeed reduced the dynamic range, and the peaks are more consistent across the loop. So yeah, this is starting to look like a more controlled, compressed signal. For contrast, let's see how a standard stock compressor handles the same thing. So this is more of what I would expect. The peaks have been reduced while the rest stays intact. And actually, if I compare it to the last render from AI Compressor, they look pretty similar. And the standard compressor didn't fully catch that last peak either, so AI Compressor is doing all that extra work for free. I wrote the developer asking how AI Compressor handles peaks, and they said that the loudest peak during learning determines the level at which the peaks remain the same. If AI Compressor encounters louder peaks, then they'll be reduced. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention the Perpetual filter. That impacts the compression too. The Perpetual filter goes beyond standard high-pass filtering to help AI Compressor hear the signal like a human would, adjusting the compression to compensate. So in terms of peaks, the Perpetual filter can compress certain elements harder and reduce peaks for better balance. We can really see this on that first guitar track. If I apply the effect directly, we can see that the highest peak remains the same, but everything else is brought up to be higher, to be closer in range. Now with all that established, let's test it fully in a mix to see how it can help. This is a board mix where I leveled things out but didn't do much EQing because AI Compressor claims to achieve a better tonal balance, in addition to compression and perceived loudness, so I wanted to hear the difference. Let's see if AI Compressor can get us any closer to sounding mixed. I think an acoustic guitar will be a perfect choice for AI Compressor. Wow, I really like that. It feels like it's adding body and weight to the instrument. But then again, do I like this just because it's louder? That's why I'm not crazy about the gain jump. Let's compensate by flipping the wet-dry to output gain. Okay, so I still like that, even with the gain compensation. Great. I'm going to add that to the double. And I could even try to make this thicker by adding the AI compressor to the guitar bus. Yeah, I like that a lot. I really like this on acoustic guitar. Sounds great. Alright, let's try AI Compressor on every single channel. Here's the mix with no compression. And here's the mix with AI Compressor on every channel. It sounds smoother to me. The biggest difference is the way it blows out the ambience on the drums. And let's try AI Compressor on the main bus. Okay, that's way too much compression. I'm not sure if I'd use this for bus compression. I'd lower the gain reduction or use the mix control to subtly add glue to the mix. It's something to experiment with. And finally, let's compare the AI compressor mix to my last full mix, where I did all the compression myself. Most notably, I find the vocals are well compressed on the AI mix, and the overall mix balance is good. The drums are punchier on my full mix though, and the bass is properly mixed with good low end, and the mix has a more cohesive glue to it. But overall, AI Compressor did well for 30 seconds of mixing. So what do I think of AI Compressor? I think it was very effective in reducing dynamic range quickly while preserving the original character of the audio. Plus, it tends to increase the feeling of excitement by raising the lower level material. I'd say for beginners and songwriters who want to instantly improve their demos, this is a no-brainer. Put this on your vocals, drums, and guitars and you're good to go. For professionals, I can see reaching for this when you want to increase the body of an instrument while keeping the natural character of the peaks intact, like in jazz recordings, acoustic guitars, and drums. And it's a great choice for quickly compressing voiceovers. When I'm working for TV stations, I often have a full day where I have little time for turnaround.
Get ready to move your body in May. BC Cancer Foundation's Workout to Conquer Cancer challenges British Columbians to move every day in May while raising vital funds in support of British Columbians facing cancer. Don't miss this year's Exploration Festival put on by the Vancouver Asian Heritage Month Society.
A fast, effective compressor like this will cut back my production time and allow me to spend more time on complex issues. And by the way, I used AI Compressor on this very voiceover. Now, will AI Compressor replace all your compressors? No, I don't think so. For creative and intense compression like 1176s, you'll still need your analog EMUs and standard compressors with lots of parameters for detailed work. I'm a total compressor head and I will always want a certain amount of control. But then again, I've been using Waves RVox and Renax for decades as my go-to compressors, and they're basically one-knob compressors. I think AI Compressor adds to that category and is well worth checking out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below, and use my affiliate links to purchase AI Compressor and other plugins. Until next time, mix well.